Yeah.
Well, I don't know, we do it.
What did you do, Margaret?
Okay, okay. This is what I made for the stick to the governor's land planning when we were trying to get the hole in the wall trail made.
Is it gonna
But my picture
be
was
okay to
pretty
unplug the
cool.
both of you and plug you into this power strip?
That's fine. Play nicely with others.
You know, this one actually turned out better. Usually we got it upside down and backwards.
Oh, yeah.
I have about 5 or 6 of them that I've done, but. Just for the project. There it is.
How's that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate it when I set something to print and print it in the wrong direction. I've done that so many times.
Hi, everybody.
Good morning.
Put my water in a little container because I too much to spit.
Did everybody get signed in up front?
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
the kiosk.
Sign it, scan it.
And
I don't have to sign it.
Virtual sign-in.
Yes.
I keep it in such a place, my purse, because I only need it sporadically.
No, I've been working on this.
oops, I'm sorry. We have a couple of people who won't be here, and Jim will probably be in around 11, but
So this is pretty much how many people are coming?
maybe we'll get at least one more. here.
Okay, well then, we'll-
You can spread out if you
that's
would
what we're
like.
at. That gives you
Not
more
sure who of
space.
these people will be here, but. Warm up the TV.
There you go.
Cool. Are they going down?
Today, I thought that anybody who would like to share their projects can plug into the TV up here, and we can talk through what you've done. And problem solve some issues if you have them. And then I'd like to get some work time in for everybody today if you have a specific project in mind. Let's see, we have 2, this week 6. We've done the second week of March. So there's an official end to the class, which would be, it says March 4th is our last day. I would like to kind of continue a project or projects with Canva. There's an opportunity probably too, after we got all of the reimbursements back for the program. We might be able to print some projects. Here, I'll grab. Oh, there you go. It's hard to get up and down in that spot. Oh, there, the bar.
Sorry.
Hello.
Hello.
You can sit where you would like. It might be a quieter class today, so you can spread out. I'll repeat what I said so you don't miss it. It's the last day of our class is officially March 4th, so that's a Wednesday morning.
Okay.
I would like to continue doing projects with Canva. And I want to use this term loosely because it can mean a lot of things, but I would like to start like a yearbook group. So potentially putting together, and again, it's a creative project, so maybe people who have a specific memorial that they want to include in our yearbook, or other random historical events, things like that. The other end of the ending portion of this class, we have something that we call a culminating event at the end. So it's basically an opportunity for everybody in the class to come back, get together, and family, friends, and we'll do a little celebration of sorts, and maybe have printed projects. In other words, the class ends, but I would like to keep meeting and let you all work on projects and then figure out the funding if we do have money to make a couple of books potentially or something for people. So with our culminating event, I would like to push that back a bit into, let's see, March, April. Maybe April, because May people are traveling, but the end of April. So just think about that the next couple of weeks, what might work for you. It's just a reception, basically. But that's the opportunity for the community to kind of come together, family, especially family and friends, and see what you've done. And the neat thing with this program is you should be able to add 5 people under each of your subscriptions. So you could potentially share this with one of your children and make a book of your grandkids' photos over a couple of months and print it. And we can, again, talk about that a little. Technically, all the funding has to be used and the program ends in June. So,
Is there,
but I know,
is there a deadline for using all that?
I think technically the end of June. In other words, that really gives us through May, but I know people start traveling. So just keep that all sort of in mind. It's going to be hard to get everybody here. But I want to give you time to work on nice projects. So it's not like, well, we need a flyer and that's that. The other nice thing is you'll get to continue to use this program. So I would like to turn it into a longer term project, possibly with others who are interested in doing something like that. Once you understand the basic functions of Canva, it's actually enjoyable. It's fun, I think. It's good for the brain too, it's not the same as art making, you know. Doing things in the screen is pretty flat and cold, sort of sterile. But so we'll talk about that for the next couple weeks. Margaret, I think you're gone next week, right? Okay. So mostly this week, I want to see, you don't have to feel pressured to show what you've worked on. You don't have to have worked on anything. Even if it's something basic, like work in progress isn't that exciting generally because there's a lot of pieces not where they belong. But it's a good chance to get feedback too, or problem solve if you kind of hit a wall and need advice or editing input. So.
Mine's a presentation. I don't know if anyone else is doing a presentation, but if you wanted to use that as an example, you could.
Yeah, and we troubleshooted last week with her present. She made what is it? PowerPoint presentation, essentially with slides, a slideshow. And all it came down to was finding the right button to push play because we couldn't at first get it to just automatically change the slides. So it's often just an easy fix, honestly, and that's the trick, is just being patient and looking around and all these possible, behind all these buttons and drop down menus that are hiding, Sure, you want to pull that up here? And would it help if we turned the lights off and then turned a couple, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Is it better?
You might want to. I think it's set for 8 seconds, and that's probably, it might be too long. I don't know, I think you can advance it anyway, skip it, twitch it ahead.
I'll let you show us.
Oh, okay.
Are you ready? Or?
Do you think it's better with the lights off?
Yeah.
What's under
I need my.
eyes adjusters?
I need some light.
Do you? I do have lamps too, so that's the other. I'm gonna ask for track lighting in a couple spots in this room so we can turn the light off and then.
I really
Is that? I think it looks like it's up there.
Don't do that. Don't do what I did.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's what's always something, this is there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cascade effect. First it was my knees, then it was then it was my back.
Okay, so to start, I would.
Let's try it. Okay, so, go, she went.
Yes, so I just used, this is our, trip that we took to Utah, so let me get this thing off of there. So I used my own pictures and I did some adjusting with the pictures through this program and some other way. I tried to do different ways with the animations and the text part of it, tried to put it in different ways. And then what she worked with me on was the timing, because I couldn't find where it would automatically advance, and I wanted it to do that. And we did find that. So these,
Will you show them where we found it?
We should really watch it all the way through.
yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Easier to work with it.
So, and I used the corner thing because I liked how it looks on some of the pictures, and I didn't use it on all of them. But rounding those corners, it looked a little bit more professional or finished or something like that.
And we're seeing some animation with your titles.
Oh,
Yeah, I did several different animations. And some of the pictures you see, some of them,
that's fun.
I was trying to make that even more bouncy, but
Let's see.
You can read it. Yeah, it's too bouncy, you can't.
I did one of these as a different program and sent it to a friend, and she said, "Oh, this is just fun. I want you to walk me through it." So I had her in mind when I made this one, thinking that she enjoyed that other one. So
Some nice pictures.
it is a beautiful trip. I recommend it.
Good travel guide. Yeah.
I like the part when you round them, that if anybody hasn't used it, rounding the corners, you can watch what number you're rounding, so they all look alike.
Right. And I wasn't absolutely
It's hard,
meticulous on that, but it's really easy to do it. I just wasn't always meticulous on it.
but I thought that was cool if you want something to look exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
Oh, now that
Oh,
was
there you
good.
go.
How'd you do that? How'd you make that? come in that
It's just a
curvy-
choice. It's an easy choice in there.
In that text section.
So,
Will you show it started pretty fast once you hit play, so will you use your cursor and show,
let me see if I
Need
can.
a light?
go back, I think.
It's right. You see those little three things down here?
Yeah,
That's this autoplay.
there's,
Start
the-
autoplay.
it was in a drop-down menu. So she had it timed. Will you show us here just a
See up
second
here,
too?
there's a time right here.
Timer, there are a couple different spots.
So you can say how fast you want it to go, but I could say that. And I did it over and over, and I tried to, put it in combination. Do I have to put present first? Do I have to do this first? What do I have to do to make that timing work? And then she found, and it's not here on this page. You have to go to a different page to find where that autoplay is.
Oh, present.
You have to go to, present, and then to a slide. Now,
Just thinking.
let's go to the beginning again.
Did you use a template or just find a presentation and fill everything in blank? Was it a presentation template that already sort of had some stuff laid out?
It did have a template. I don't remember if it was a presentation template. It was a template, and then you just keep adding pages.
Yeah.
And I just added pages till I was done with my pictures. But that, let me see if I can get this to show where I want it. Like this. Oh, okay. See these three dots at the bottom there? That's where that start autoplay is. So once you set your timer, then you can push that to.
Was there a separate, like, were those pictures and some of the text went through and the animation that was there. It was so quick that the eye was barely able to catch the fact that you brought something in and then the next slide came up. Are there two different timers? Because there was some place where you had some of the text appear, or there was something, I could see it with my eye, but I couldn't see what it was. And it seemed like it was, the screen itself went on to the next thing before whatever it was I was seeing actually. Is there a timing for two different things?
Can you slow the animation down?
Yeah, I guess that's.
Might be, I don't know, I haven't
Yeah.
tried to slow it down.
I guess that was the thing, because there were some animated pieces that came up, but they came so quickly that I didn't recognize what I was seeing.
Let me see if I.
I think you could add, well, and you can add length and customize each slide, so it would stay up for 20 seconds instead
Well,
of
it isn't
potentially.
the slide length as much as it was the animation that came in. But
Yeah,
that's a separate.
It's distracting a little bit.
Yeah.
There were things that kind of popped up and then they were gone and you couldn't see what it was you saw.
And I don't know the answer to that question, but that'd be a good one I could investigate that and know.
I just saw it in a couple of those later slides. Where you brought something in.
There was something, when I was playing with the animations, there was something that, made the bounce more, that type of thing. So there probably is an adjustment in there, but I didn't try to find that. I probably, if I was gonna try to make it easier to read, I'd just slow the slide down.
When you go back to that place where the bouncy one was, it was about either one screen or two screens before that, where something flashed and then it was gone. And I just was wondering which one it was, but I saw there was something that hit. And then it came out and then it was gone.
Was that the one? That's
No.
two ahead.
No, there was something that came, it was off on the right hand, left hand side, it seemed like.
That one? That's the bouncy
That's the
one.
bouncy one. I think it was before.
It was before that?
I think. Wanted to wait to ask the questions till after that.
yeah.
Maybe it was after.
You saw it, right?
Right?
Pardon?
Is it Mary T?
Rosemary.
Rosemary. Rosemary saw it too. She said it was distracting because it was something that flashed, but you couldn't see. Maybe it was,
Well-
maybe it was after that.
Yeah, maybe.
Sorry.
Well, and that's why it takes a lot of time, because you watch these things several times to know what specific,
Back it up just 1 second.
That one more?
Yes. That screen in the middle of that building, if something happens to it and it's like it dissolves or something.
Oh, yeah,
It
it
was so
does.
quick that I
Like
thought
a transition.
it was a blur. And I thought,
Yeah, it looks like they can add a transition on this program to each picture too, instead of just each slide, the transition is
okay, that I
what
think
happens between.
That's the one that I saw.
Can you push play?
I'm not sure if I can do that from here. Well, maybe we can.
I think that's fine. Oh, yeah,
Because it blurs and then.
Oh,
it's
It transitioned with the,
uh-huh.
with that one single
that's
photograph.
that's
Oh,
kind
yeah,
It
and then it
dissolved
doesn't go
and then-
back.
that's kind of like when you take a picture. The other day, my daughter had taken a picture and the dog and I were in the picture and the dog moved its head. So every time you open it, the dog moves its head.
Yeah, it
It
does.
has to do with the way the picture is taken. I don't think you can fix that.
Yeah, and that's, I haven't played with this either, but I know there's probably a way to put music to it, so
Oh, yeah.
that would be like the next thing I'd kind of take a look at, and, how to find a piece of music I liked, went with it, and then timing it for the
And
slides.
there was one more that had a tag on it. It was like a text tag that did the same sort of thing where it flipped through and I didn't see what it said.
When you put music on it though, you need to be aware of the copyright stuff on there.
Oh, 30 seconds.
Yeah, copyright seemed to last forever. I
Well,
tried that with something on YouTube and
And you're allowed.
I got this, you can't use that. I think it was something like Mac the Knife or something.
But I think you are allowed like 30 seconds or something. It's like, I remember the kids in the high school using music, but they could only use so much of the song.
Oh. See, now to me, that needs to stay up longer so you have a chance to read that courtesy.
Yeah, So maybe that's
Well,
a
and-
slide that stays
yeah.
up longer.
Yeah, and like I said, it does seem to say that you can do each slide a different timing, but I didn't get that far into it, so, yeah.
No, I think it's
Yeah,
beautiful.
good
Just
job.
to
Found
Yeah,
pictures.
yeah, really.
Just to
I
comment.
think if you
Yeah,
go
we turned
back,
out
did you
nice.
take these with your camera?
With my phone.
I mean, with your phone, that's what I said.
Uh-huh.
If you go back to that picture, you'll see on your phone when it comes up, it does that. Maybe you moved it or something, I think that's what.
Which one are you
So
talking
what
about?
about the building?
The one she was talking
Oh,
about.
I did that on purpose.
Okay.
That one, I actually, I did some animation type of thing.
Oh, okay.
You can choose, it was flat, and I just was playing with it, so that's
Oh,
why.
okay. No,
Yeah,
that-
Yeah.
that picture, Kay, what you're talking about is usually on the very first second of that picture that comes on your phone. I see it happen on mine.
Oh, yeah, that's a weird thing.
And you can get rid of it if you're transferring it, you can just still your picture.
Oh, yeah.
But what you're talking about does happen on your phone, it doesn't.
Yeah, and
happen-
this one I did on purpose. It may not be the perfect thing, but I did it on purpose, just to play with the program.
It's neat to know that
Yes,
we can do that. Like here it goes, it'll dissolve or.
Right.
Oh, there it goes.
It melts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
That's very nice.
Yeah, really.
Bart, do you wanna do that one that we worked on the other day with the
Sure.
photographs? Cause I have two slides of the same picture where we
Uh-huh.
messed with inserting something.
Do we need light over there? Is it worse? Better or worse?
Well, to see the thing, but in order to set it up, you need to.
Yeah. So that cord just goes
Let me
in.
Oh, well,
You just do your photographs.
Aunt sent notes.
Oh, thank you.
I did too, I had a bunch of photographs of dogs and cats doing different things. In this particular one, I was trying to accomplish what you see on.
It should pop up in a second.
It was used from a card form, and I found out that if I was gonna do a card that had like, you could open it up, you had to identify it as a foldable card. You can't just, if you try to do it,
It won't be.
it will end up being a flip side. If you're gonna have two sides to it, it won't fold. You have to do foldable. So what I did was I used a format to do it and instead of my own design because I was trying to, so, and then.
Weird. I think it would have popped up by now. Maybe I'll turn the TV off and on.
My knee has a hitch.
Oh,
So,
I think it'll come up in a second.
but
Thinking.
So the other day I came over to work with Danica about some of the formatting I wanted to try, and it took a little while to figure out how to do it. I have a photograph that I had done a long, long time ago. The tree doesn't exist anymore, but I used it as a heading on my stickers for my return address and also my business cards. And it was a tree that it looked like hair was flying out. And I did a card with that and we couldn't get it to work. But I-
Is the plug-in all the way? Kind of her
That's
computer?
what I'm, oh, wait. Okay,
There.
do it.
There.
Wait,
Yeah.
there.
Okay, so this, I'm gonna,
Just have to have the touch.
this was what I started with. And I had this square and I was trying to figure out how to make it fit inside the paw print.
Yeah, there's a picture there.
This paw print is actually like a graphic I took off on a clip art. And it locked, you can't do anything with it. It's not workable. This is my photograph of my dogs, and then this was my text. But I couldn't get I was trying to figure out how to make that thing fit so it looked right. And so we played with the camera, with the photo, and we then got it so that we could crop it. And so this is a crop of the bigger picture. And then this is the, but like I said, you had to have a foldable card. you have to identify it as foldable in order to get this to be inside of it.
Right.
So this is the card, and this was, this is what it would, the finished product are the first 2 pages. The mistake is up here. And then, this was another one I used, and I was trying to cut this thing out so it would fit inside there, but it would not, I couldn't figure out how to trim it, so I just had to live with putting a circle and then cropping the outside edges of the picture out. So, and I,
That's cute.
and then finished up with, because that's what the original picture, I had a picture of the flower pot, and then the cats kept climbing in it, so that's the,
Yeah.
so.
Oh.
So then, let's see, the other one, I'll close these out. And we tried to print it, what's wrong? I just knocked out a pen. I wanted to ask some questions about text when we do this, but I'll let you guys, I have this other one that, when we were trying to get it, this is what I discovered is that you have to have a foldable card where it turns out like this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So this is the picture that was inside the paw, and that's kind of my logo that I've used for my stuff. Yes, the tree collapsed the year after it did.
Oh, I'm glad you got a picture.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, it was a great shot. So we're going crazy one. So, anyway, that being said, that's kind of what happened with my projects.
And she did get a couple, we printed just to see how it prints and what does what.
You have to do long side if you're gonna print it.
Or flip on short side.
I think on mine when I'm doing it,
Isn't that line for some reason? I don't know why. It seems to be opposite of what.
yeah, it is.
Well,
It's on
so
my-
it was on landscape and flipped on the long side, but if you're on portrait, it's probably backwards.
Yeah.
If it's landscape, it's on the short side. If it's portrait, it would be the long side, I think.
All I know is that when you
Trial and error
fixes it.
Because otherwise it was just upside down on what, the
Yeah.
2 pages were opposite.
Because on text it says print on both sides, flip page on the long sides. That's
Long
my-
side. But does yours say portrait there or landscape?
This is portrait.
I took
This
this
is
one.
landscape both.
And when I put my pictures,
Huh.
Either way.
those frames.
That's-
are
I mean,
there.
this is on a Word
When I put
document.
my pictures in there, you can get turned in the way they were supposed to be.
Yeah.
Well,
You have to do that.
That's the
I
trick
used
too,
to use
you,
the print master and the clip art function wasn't print master. You could divide it up. You could crop it, you could do anything with it. And I'm trying to get that back, but it worked really good with Adobe Shell. It doesn't work with anything else.
So that was what
It
my
takes-
project was.
a few prints. It is nice to have your own printer at home, but the ink is expensive. But especially in this type of scenario, you can print it and see how it looks, what you don't like, and go back and edit it easily. It takes 4 or 5 printings of something before you know if it's how you like it. Just so
Well,
you
the
know.
color is
Yeah.
a factor too, like this one is that one, I was trying to use the gradient. And trying to find something you can't actually on some of these really do as much of adjustment as you'd like because it's just set.
Yeah.
There are some things you can do with it, and then there are some things that it just is limited to.
Yeah.
Work with. But anyway, I'm gonna have questions to you today about, because I've been trying to work with the text content.
Oh, yeah.
And trying to set up a document that you can work with text. And I so far haven't been able to figure out how to do it, so you can, because we talked about whether you do it 1 page at a time, that is impossible if you've got very many pages.
Yeah.
So I don't know I couldn't find the document within the Canva that I got to figure out how to do that. That was one of the questions.
Okay.
Because I'm not gonna be able to do our writing group 1 page at a time. I took one document from a person who had about 1.25 pages, and the document that I created ended up just crunching the whole thing onto one page and it was impossible to read. And I thought, well,
Yeah.
that's not gonna work. And I'm not going back through and doing a little bit of time.
What you'll probably have to do, and it's gonna just take time and you'll get faster as you do it, but my guess is if we pulled that up, it would be a matter of duplicating whatever text she has, deleting half of it in one of the boxes, the top half, and then deleting the bottom half in a second box and putting them together.
Maybe that is impossible if you've got this kind of writing. I mean, there's just no way. We're gonna have to figure out, there's gotta be, and I'll look at it.
And you can put Word doc, you can upload PDFs into the program.
But I just know that doing it that way with the amount of text that we've got, that's completely unusable.
And that's the trial and error. Like I've used this for 5 or 6 years at this point. So it takes a lot of time using stuff to your specifications of what you're gonna do. Because you probably, and my guess would be that the writing students, if you work on it together, you probably find a way that's easier than what I've been doing. Because you know what your specific needs are for your project. I can show you what I would do, but that doesn't mean you want to do it the way I would do it with like 90 or 100 plus pages.
Yeah, there's no way that we.
But that's now you have the program. I hope that you keep using it to figure out those problems because chances are it's usable and fixable.
Yeah, and I did talk to Steve Raza and he said the Affinity program that he uses for publishing was bought out by Canva. And so there's a possibility that I can get into that program that phases it into what we're doing. I don't know.
What was the program that they bought?
Affinity. And it was one I've never heard of, but it's a word program that he uses for publications. So
Is it Affinity Publisher?
it sounds like it.
There's Affinity Publisher, Photo, and Designer.
Yeah, and there's one where you find it in there, it says something about by Canva or something like that.
Huh.
But anyway, just as an FYI, that's something I'm gonna have to investigate, because trying to do what I was doing last night is not.
Yeah. And that is the tough thing because every book you do is going to be different. Every dimensions are different. You're going to want, and you guys have a more standardized
Books.
formula for, well, and formulas, formatting. Formatting for publishing is different from a lot of the clip art stuff here. But since you have specific needs, I think that you may or may not be able to figure out easier on my end than I know on my end what I've been doing. Because you know the publishing end of those formatting, you know.
Have you worked with Canva enough that somebody told me you could ask questions to Canva?
Oh, that help is great.
Yeah.
It's AI. They can tell you just about anything.
Can you only chat with Canva, or can you use a phone call to call them?
I don't know about that. That is the weird thing. Oh, online nowadays because
They don't do calls.
No.
yeah.
Well, for one thing, the company is in Australia.
Pardon?
The company is in Australia. When I
Oh,
was having
good.
trouble
You
with
can't
my
call them.
setup,
Uh-huh.
I had to go through the chat thing because there's no access to it.
Right.
It's in Australia.
But it's really good. They answer
The
questions
tag,
and
yeah.
it's not like the old help files where they
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does somebody else want to plug in before the TV turns off? Nobody else wants to show today? Okay. I'd actually like to have you plug your computer back in.
Okay.
My computer is currently recording and I can't record and do this, but there are a couple things I wanted to talk about, so I'll use yours as an example.
Well, like I said, I'm learning that there are certain things that it's like.
Are you familiar with a mix book?
Next
A
book.
mix book. You can create photo albums with it.
Yeah.
But you can put text on it too. Because I did that a couple of years ago. So I'm looking,
Uh,
maybe it kind of easier, there's a lot more stuff to it. But it may be
And
easier to
I'll
do that
point
kind of
this
stuff.
out again because of what you're talking about. Chances are, if you emailed them evenly, you'd be surprised how responsive some of these types of programs are. So a little bit ago, I was like, shoot, I forgot what I was gonna say, but I remembered what it was. The nice thing, and I said this a couple weeks ago, it is kind of frustrating. It's like when they move stuff at the grocery store and all of a sudden things have changed here. It's not you. If you are looking for something that's not there anymore, don't panic. It's probably been moved because these are actively being updated. So if you went to Canva and said, I am into self-publishing books and this is clunky and not functional for what I want to do, chances are they'll catch up with the times and evolve with what your feedback is.
Or they may already have something.
And it might
You
be.
can't figure out where it is.
Yeah. Let's see.
And Danica, at that top part, I mean, I opened something, you may have to click it out. I've got some business stuff up there.
Okay.
I had to use the email to do it. Let me get off my because it doesn't need my business stuff.
I showed Margaret this. I didn't talk about this last week, but I was sitting with her end of last week. And you see my cursor here? Right up here. Traditional Indian wedding greeting folded cards. That's what the title is gonna be when you download that file. So if I click on it, highlight it, what would you like to title it?
Potpourri.
Do you want to spell it for me?
Potpourri.
Now, that is the title of this project.
That's for Lisa.
Yeah,
Lisa loves cats.
She will be into that.
that's handy to know because if you start a project with text, that must have already been the title of the template.
It is.
So now every time she says it, every time you save it, it's going to save as potpourri. You could adjust that, but when you download the file onto your computer, that's what your title will be. And the first text, if like once it was potpourri, a lot of times, and maybe that's when you're not using a template, maybe it will take your first bit of text, like if you wrote your name as a header, this will be the title of. It's randomly generated, basically. Let's see, what else this week did I think of?
Well, hold on, just one second.
Yeah.
On that particular one, we talked about this. If you go into the projects that I have there.
This? Yeah.
Okay, so if you wanted to use that same, like, I have 4 or 5 cat things that I'm doing. Can we, without having to do duplicate pages, duplicate that card in a different document?
Yep. The best way to do that, actually, and this is handy, we have a good point, we haven't talked about this. This says resize up here.
Resize.
Yeah, so if you want to take any project, even if it's a book that you started, it's 100 some odd pages, and you realize you don't want it in an 8.5 by 11 format, it needs to be 6 by 9. All you have to do is look, it pops up these automatic generated things, options.
Will that change what's on the screen though? You do any changes there? Or do you have to start over with a new program, new project?
I put dimensions in here, so it hasn't, dang. I was hoping that it was just gonna let me copy and resize. Huh, I might have to look into it deeper. And what I probably should just put is the dimensions, because that is 11 by 8.5. 11, the first measurements, the across measurement.
Is the card itself? Was it?
11
Oh,
by,
okay, so it is when you fold it in half, it's 58.
yeah.
Okay, so under file, and it says make a copy,
Yeah. It won't let me because I didn't put any dimensions in. See, now I can hit select copy and resize.
oh, so, okay,
I just physically had to put in the dimensions.
before you,
Now, if I hit copy and resize, it also just says resize this design. But this will make a copy and save your original.
This copy and resize will save it. The
Yep.
original.
Open, so if I open that, it takes us directly to the same thing, but in a different file, a different project. And the other option, when she was talking, describing the question, you can just duplicate these pages. In theory, you would have 5 fronts and 5 backs, and it's all the same layout, and every single one of those had different text written in it.
So it's not the same thing as making
It's
page,
this duplicate page,
but
and that's what you said you didn't want to do.
So it's just doing one page at a time, so it's
Yeah.
whichever your cursor's on, right? So that's the page
Yeah.
that's gonna be duplicated. So if you need to have the
Yeah.
two different formats, you would have to click on one and then click on the next one to make it different. Because it's not really creating the entire new document, it's only creating that page. right?
Yeah.
So if I have the top page, once it was potpourri, that's clicked on, you make a duplicate of it, and then you have to click on the next one to make a duplicate of the second page.
Duplicate, yep. So you,
Because you can't really.
in my
duplicate
brain, I
all.
just keep making duplicates in my file project, but it gets obnoxious and lots of pages in the same project.
Yeah, that's, yeah, really confusing.
But here, you could just continue to copy and resize in that same size and have each of those cards. They would have all their own. And then you could title them up top to know which one's which. Like if it was going to a certain person, and like one was going to Michelle, you could title that up there and just say Michelle.
Well, I was
So you
just
know that
thinking,
her name's in that, does that make sense?
if you were doing a collect, let's just say I wanted to make a collection of cards.
Yeah.
And I wanted the background to look exactly the same, but different pictures and different readings.
Yeah.
I would want to do the copy and resize and start a new document, not just new pages, because then that would end up creating probably trying to tell which page you're on. If you
It
change
can, if it all looks the same, especially.
Yeah, that's the
Got
idea, is you were looking at doing a duplication of the same basic background in order to create the other things, then it would be better to start a new document.
Yeah.
And it would have a different name.
Yeah. I like to duplicate pages, but then my projects get out of control sometimes. But then I know, oh, there's this one project and all my pages are in that one project too. What's your question?
Of Lois's presentation, if she
Okay.
wanted to make a photo book,
so I won't
Yeah.
throw 2 pages.
could she use the same?
Oh,
Why would it not do that?
so
You can't just-
Rosemary's question,
Hey Lois. She has a question.
so repeat your question?
Well, I was just thinking of her presentation, if she wanted to make a photo book out of that, what would she have to start over to make a photo book?
No. So Lois, you can copy and resize your pages and make another document like we did.
Yeah,
If you're getting ready to make a book, the best thing like your next step would be to shop around and figure out what your dimensions of your book are. So if, just so you hear, listen for just 1 second, because I'm gonna lose my train of thought. You can resize the whole project. If you go to find a photo book that has odd dimensions, 12 by 12 inches.
Well, I'm just thinking of a plain one like 8.5
Well,
by
just
11.
bear
Okay.
Just bear with my description because that's where it's most obvious. You might be able to get a 12 by 12 book somewhere, not other places. Shop around, figure out what size book you want. Figure out who you're getting printed from because they have different size options. Resize your project. You can do that into a 12 by 12 format, but you're gonna have to resize every one of these pages. You're gonna have to reformat everything because it will put that stuff where it wants to. It's ideal if you're making a photo book because her question was if you could just take your slides and make it into a photo book. Yeah, but it would have to be a long, narrow format, or she'd have to redesign all her pages.
Cause she's got tall, long.
Actually, I'll just, and you can delete this.
Let's see, 12 by 12, just because. Create a custom size. It's saying there's not a 12 by 12 template. Oh, it did at least default to inches. Remember, you might see pixels or something pop up there. So that's 12 inches by 12 inches. It might not be very drastic, but watch what happens to the page design. Oops. That's not so bad. Oh, well, look how much it elongated.
Yeah, it's good long.
So that's why, you're learning the process, but I've also learned the hard way that you design something and then you find out what you're printing in. It's extra work because you have to go back and redo everything. So if like our books, we did those in that other class that were 6 by 9, you don't want to go through all the work of in an 8.5 because look how different the format is. This is longer and narrow. So if you have 200 pages of information, then you say, oh, I'm getting ready to print my book. Where am I going to get it printed? And then you go and you realize, well, I'm going to have to redo everything on some level that I just did. So yeah, now we can do it all. But the trick is knowing ahead of time where you're going because it can save you a lot of work. Once it's done, it's okay. I could keep resizing this to what I want to, but it's going to take time. But like Instagram, I'll say that again because it used to be especially a square format. Now they don't just have squares, it's longer and rectangular. So if there are actually, if you go to the resize option, it will have multiple options even for Instagram.
But first of all, if you're gonna do that, you're saying that the change of size has gotta be dependent on what the publishing company or printing company is going to allow you to do. So those pre-formatted pages, like allowing for the, not the gutter, but the left-right margins, have to be determined based on who is publishing or printing, and they give the guidelines as to how much they need for each page.
Yeah. You're welcome. So Jim.
Oh, sorry.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm running into stuff.
I do that too.
There's water here. I try not to spill. Good morning,
Don't worry. I won't push you on the chair.
We're getting there.
Morning.
Howdy. How are you doing, Tim?
Good.
Good
Uh,
Okay, so you just want to sit in this way?
Yeah.
You probably like your phone.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
we'll reiterate what we just talked about.
Show up or you fine here?
I'm good, thank you.
Margaret was making this folded greeting card layout in a project. It was basically on 11 by 8.5 landscape. And we resized it. Right now it's a square, 12 by 12 and 12 by 12 inches. It kind of, I don't know what I would say drastically, but let's look at that's what it looked like before we resized it. So, especially when it comes to book printing, and it sort of started with your question about a photo album. The question came up if Lois had her presentation slideshow she just made, if she'd be able to easily print that as it is. Easy is probably not the word, because once you put all that formatted stuff into whatever publishing book, and I learned that with this sticker that I designed. I thought I had it all finished and went to the design place that printed stickers. And even though it was rectangular, I hadn't designed it till I think it's 2 inches by 5 or 2.5 by 5 or something. So when I uploaded my file into their format for the sticker printing, I had these weird wide white gaps at the top and bottom. So I went back to the design, redesigned it, resized it, and redesigned it to fit that format. So, especially as we're talking about like photo album type books, Lois could make her presentation into a book, but chances are her long, narrow format is going to be awkward in a lot of formats that are options on printing, publishing type websites.
Might be just easier to start over.
But so what happens when you resize it, it really changed the format of, see how long and narrow, especially that background is. Oh yeah, there's a split in the middle because it pulled them apart. It must have duplicated like an element. So that's the original. That's better. As far as the layout goes and how it fits in the space. Oh, see, in here it did differently.
Well, I didn't put the same amount.
Oh, okay.
I did separate the two of them in order to get it all the way from the top.
Yeah.
to the bottom.
So in theory, you could take any project and make it into a book, but once you resize this, unless you got absolutely lucky and the ratio is the same as your previous ratio, meaning, yeah, does that make sense? You could save yourself, in other words, a lot of legwork. If you know you're wanting to make a photo album, you go to the photo album printing website and look at their options. Bless you. And then design based on that dimension. Does that make sense? In other words, you can turn her slideshow into a book, but it's probably going to have weird gaps of white and all these things until you go back and fidget with it. So it's multiple multiple iterations of the same project. Same with printing, you'll probably print something 5 times, just trying to say, oh, do I flip on the long edge or this edge? Things are upside down. Any questions? We talked to, I think Jim might have missed this part. You see where this says, this cursor? Potpourri here.
Yep.
Oh, actually, that's interesting. It says, because it was originally an 11 by 8.5. This is a resized version, so in its little notes in the file name, it says 12 by 12. Uh-oh. And I'll let you take it too. You can change the name. Oh, it did. Wait.
Sorry.
Or did you undo it?
Oh,
Oh,
I had to because it's been a minute.
if you saw it before she unplugged it,
Sorry.
where I told you the file name, you can change that.
I could
But it's
do-
helpful
No, I-
to see in the dimensions when you have multiple projects like that, that said 12 by 12. So I have multiple files of the same project, but they're different sizes.
Do you have a power source up there? And I guess I could.
It's, there's a hole, an outlet there under this. This is weird.
Well, I just, it may be that you need to use somebody else's computer, but this
Yeah.
is to have a long life on the batteries.
Did anybody else run into anything that was awkward, clunky? That's another technical term we use. That's like running off the wheels, clunky. And that's the big question. Like Margaret, I do kind of want to sit and look at your question, dilemma about how things are coming into your program for editing. We talked about earlier too, Jim. I have to do a lot of problem solving as I go based on what project I'm working on. You know, like the writing group especially is going to want to know there's more standardized formats for novels and such. So one of Margaret's questions is, how do I import this one file and format it to fit into a better format than when she pulls it in, everything squeezes onto one page and it's probably like a 6-point font, I'm guessing, I don't know.
Not practical.
Do you want to try to get to the point you can put that in?
Let's kind of see if I can find it.
Because I can plug you back in over here and we can take a look. But if not, I can probably plug my computer in if anybody wants to see what I was talking with Margaret about. Not everybody's going to compile a book, but it doesn't mean that those types of scenarios aren't helpful for everybody to hear, you know. And that's the odd thing. It was like Lois's problem last week that we just couldn't find the play button. It was because it was just hiding. I got into a weird spot yesterday or the day before actually, where for some reason when I was in my uploads, you know, it's on the left side over here, and I was looking at all my photos. I don't even know how I did it, but it got to a setting where it was wanting me to select multiple photos. Like if you were to go to select a bunch of pictures to put in the trash. So it comes up with a little box and then you mark the box. I didn't want to be in that setting because all I wanted to do was add one of those photos to my project. I was kind of panicking because I didn't see anything. Like, how do I get out of this? There was a little box down at the bottom and all it says is cancel. And then as you select things, it's just way at the bottom in the bottom left-hand corner. But you never know what kind of random spot you'll find yourself in doing this that is a hurdle or a hiccup. I wonder, I might have both of the versions of my resume on there because I think I've talked about that problem. I used a template for a resume that had a whole bunch of white boxes and weird stuff in the background. So when it didn't look like it had any problems on the screen. But when I downloaded it, it was like only my header would download to page 1. And it was very weird, segmented. It took me 2 or 3 years to finally go back into it and realize I had to pull stuff apart because I used somebody's template. Templates are great, but then they also have quirks to them, you know, depending on how many parts people used. And the other, I think last week I was showing you photo things and duplicating. And I was back in one of those projects and found a bunch of, so there, sometimes if you put a picture into your project, it looks like there's a picture there, but you don't see it. It's just a glitchy thing. Especially when something gets locked, like the background. It's pretty easy to add an element and potentially lose it behind something, especially if your like another element is locked and you accidentally put something behind it. It looks funny because it's disappeared. But all you have to do is unlock the top layer and shuffle stuff around. It means you have to reposition what you wanted locked. But if you move your cursor around your project, white boxes will get lost on a white background pretty easily. And the only way to tell is moving your cursor, you'll see that like magenta purple highlight box around stuff. So you'll tell there's something floating there that you're not actually seeing. And that's the tough thing too. You never know till you're in a moment when you're doing something specific that something's hiding behind another
Okay,
element.
I got a question that might.
Yeah.
So I misspelled this word.
Okay.
How did I get that?
Do you want to plug into our screen?
And I cannot get the I in there.
Oh, you want to plug in, or do you want me to?
Yeah, I want to know how to do that. It's in my mouse.
Site. Oh,
Because when I delete it, it won't take me to a text box, but when I deleted it, when I delete it, it takes everything out.
yeah.
It's behind,
And it's
behind
behind
something else.
behind it, but I can't figure out what it's behind.
The site. Which part is behind something?
Well, I don't know, but I want to put that I where it can't be there.
Okay, I'm not seeing that, is why
I spelled it wrong.
So, but you did change the text in there at some point.
I don't remember, it's been a long time ago when I did.
Okay.
I mean, I made it myself, yes, so I changed the text. But I cannot,
Where's see where it says position there at the top? On the right-hand side?
Oh,
I think it's a position issue.
I think what the problem here is, I just pulled that same template up. It's within that template. So this is probably all locked and can't be.
yeah, because I made all of that other than, I put the picture in and then I put the words in.
Okay, that's awesome.
So this upload that I just added here was one that you've already uploaded, the project.
That's where I got that from.
Okay.
I just made it bigger. I just made it to go in there, that's when I was working on it. But I can't figure out.
Oh, did you upload? Because we talked a little bit about that, downloading something and then re-uploading it.
This is not
Because
this is not my picture, so
Right.
I got it from over here someplace, I got it from Canva.
Okay.
The picture
Did-
itself,
So this
that's
is,
all mine, I wrote all that
yours?
myself.
And then you went to read something.
the only thing I can think of is if you downloaded the design
I was in design.
and then re-uploaded it,
Cause I don't.
it won't let you change the text.
No,
Because it's already a fixed,
That's
I
my,
didn't think your
that's
cards
my
were that,
website, so
um,
that's
Yeah.
all my own stuff.
There we go.
And I only took that picture of the trees from one of the images it had.
okay?
Because
Because in other words, since I'm not able to make the text box highlight,
But you could if you moved whatever's on top of it, it seems like.
so
Seems like
here,
It's a layer, I think, it's a layer issue. What did
I
you
don't-
put into the?
Did you say go to?
okay, so this is your design, correct?
My wording,
You did all of that,
I did all of that.
because
All
that
my-
is,
That's my own
that's
stuff.
downloaded in
Okay,
there.
okay, I corrected this, I downloaded it and that's what I did.
Okay, so
But I
that
made
is,
it and I thought you could go back in and correct it.
no, it's fixed now that you downloaded it,
That's okay,
so
I'm sorry.
re-upload.
That's really not.
It's,
No,
Is it a-
So I've
You
already
could-
pictured it, and I downloaded it and saved it.
if you don't have the original that you were editing, and if you would probably have to go back and rebuild it, or put a text box over it.
I tried to do that, okay.
Like make another little box. Yeah,
Yeah, I did
that
that a
was-
minute ago, and I
that's the
can't take
struggle.
that out of it, yeah.
she can't edit any of this text now because it was downloaded, so now it's like a fixed
So-
picture
so
that she
I
re-uploaded.
made this whole thing, I
Mhm.
downloaded it, I saved it, I brought it in here,
Yeah.
and so
'Cause
it's
that's right.
saved, just like all of it, it's saved,
Yeah.
and you can't correct it.
Yeah. But if you still had the
Do they-
original
do they
that you
save
worked
the
on,
originals, where are they?
And then you might.
no, you're fine.
Site, so where?
That's the
But
project.
But you'll scroll and you can see.
Or-
Where do you find the originals?
Okay,
I'm going back to
Because
like
I would
your,
guess you have the originals.
it should be there. I was just fooling with mine, but I still have the original there.
That makes sense
Okay.
now, when you said download. Okay.
yeah, that's what happened, it's
That
just
a lot
that
of people who
it's,
use this just like
Yeah.
aren't doing as
So
much
those are
creative
my
stuff as you
originals?
want to.
is that one maybe?
I made it way early, so it's,
Okay.
no, that's, I've done later.
So it might be in one of these, and you, we haven't looked at that too much either, so when you're on your homepage,
Thank you.
if you, it's
I may
nice,
not do that.
this is handy. My cursor is over the project, it will scroll through and show you some of what's in that project. So you can watch if you're looking for something specific. But that's the one trouble, that layer that she was trying to edit wasn't editable anymore. You could like you could put a new text box over it to edit it if she doesn't have her.
Scroll down further on it and see if there's, if your
Oh,
original.
yeah, I bet right there it is.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Is that it?
yeah.
Looks like it.
So now try it.
So now she could,
So how,
here, click out of that. Click off the image somewhere. There you go. Now click back onto the text if you can.
And she just moved that box off.
Here, watch. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna duplicate
you're not
the
gonna
page.
hurt anything, I don't care, you're not gonna hurt anything.
It can be moved back, but it's just kind of, I am gonna duplicate it just so I don't mess with the original. I double clicked. See how this box drags back in?
I saw that earlier, yeah.
Wow. I'm able to move some of it. Things are weird, and I will say that I don't like that about this program. Once it becomes a background, it shouldn't be that complicated. Let's see.
You can't just grab that picture and move it over to the side?
See the arrows. It's like it sucked it into the, see, I can make it bigger but not pull it back out. But that's odd that I, you know, to me, this is weird that it doesn't like let you edit backgrounds very easily once you put them in there. Because that's, I mean, that's more than awkward that I can't just click on.
Well, yeah, because I thought that, I understand now that I have to go back to the original, which is down on that whole.
In print.
Oh, look, aspect
Yeah.
maybe not, that's, I was wondering if that may.
That's not right.
That's just weird.
Sunflowers backwards. That's the other
Huh,
I
it is
asked,
annoying
I
because,
asked numerous questions and they told me how to do it, but I won't do what they
Yeah.
told me to do.
search.
Shoot.
So this is my original before it was saved, correct?
is it? Yeah.
And that's what you pulled up, right?
And once you pull your edges of a photo or something out to the edges to completely cover your field of work,
Right.
it starts reading it as a background, and I think what's happened here is it's very weird and odd trying to get anything edited again. Thank you, Anne.
It reads it as a background.
So now, it's probably a functional reason, like when you're messing with the background, it's to keep it from coming forward and being,
So I thought when I
In the
started,
way.
I had already made my background to fit my template. And then I put my words and everything on it.
so, ooh, let me see this real quick. I wonder if, block organization.
There's apparently.
So if I were to be, like, I'm just jiggling the mouse over the background, basically, it's not detecting any of that as a text block.
No text block. Which I don't know.
So-
I use the text block to make it.
The frustrating thing, like, for me as a perfectionist, I would probably, if it did matter. Oh, you're moving it.
Yeah, the whole thing though.
Can you drag it back smaller, make it smaller? Oh, so she were on layers there.
Yeah, I was trying to
Okay.
get, I was trying to get the,
Well,
This one, I'm not sure exactly.
see, it's only detecting this as one layer.
Yeah, which is weird
Which-
because.
If there were elements like text blocks, she would be able to edit it.
Right.
And I don't have a real good answer how to problem solve something once it's got sucked into the background. Because to edit it, she might have to rebuild it, but
Somehow yours you got saved somewhere.
honestly, as far as time goes, wait, oh, you unplugged it too soon, I was gonna still
I love it.
Oh.
show you something.
Yeah, sorry.
So our options, basically, I would say rebuild it, or this is much faster, you might have to just suck it up and take it as a 97% on how perfect you feel like it is. Just put a little box over that and then insert new text over that box.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, put a box over it? Oh,
Yeah.
because I tried to. Okay, so how do you put one?
Elements.
And this is. Oh, and get.
So just add like a square that you can make into a rectangle. That was a few weeks ago. It's weird in elements. If you look up a square, sometimes it is a fixed square. But if you have bars on the top and bottom that let you drag out, so just like she's got here, she made a box and can make that long and narrow
I didn't even know it right
and put it right over that text that she wants to edit because she can't pull that text back out now that it's become part of the background for some reason. To me, I'm not bothered by using a box like that because it's not gonna really ruin her design by any means.
It
It's
actually
just,
can highlight it. So if she wants that to stick out, she can highlight it,
Yeah.
put a white background on it and it'll, or a black background and white, whatever.
so think about time too, like, we were talking last week about that folded card.
You have to put text now. Oh, that's he.
Yeah, so it's like another element now on top of
And
that
she can
box.
change the color of that writing too.
Yeah, you can change the color of the box, the writing.
Yeah, we did.
Time, as far as time goes, it's like you pick and choose your battles. I would rather do this than rebuild that design.
You don't do that.
Next time you might not make your background and pull it all the way out until you realize you're like really ready to commit to that background because now we've learned you might not be able to edit it. But Margaret was looking up templates that said foldable card. And it was weird because it really didn't give us many options.
Well, if you keep giving it narrower specifics, what you have to notice on a foldable card, if you're interested in doing it, is that they give you a bunch of different options and you scroll down and it will tell you if it has a 1 or a 2 page or not. If it has the 2 page, then you can play with it. If you don't, then you're gonna get one that's just a one-side page. And then
So what I learned from Margaret's project too, and I honestly don't use templates very often because it's a great starting point, but she probably spent too many minutes time looking for this specific folded card, which if you know the dimensions and you start your own blank project, you just have to logically think, well, this card,
well, this
you
one,
would either want it landscape because you're gonna fold it this way, well, sorry, I did that backwards. Portrait and fold it this way, or landscape and fold it this way. Even if you don't have the template, if you have a starting point to find a blank canvas, it's just like logical thinking, you know? If you can't find the template you want,
but you can
put in the
design-
dimensions you want
but you
and
can
then go from
redesign
there.
your template to fit. Like I had one that we played with that kind of gave me a starting point with. And I deleted all of the stuff that was on that template and put my own stuff on it because I didn't want to have to be bothered with trying to create something that was already created. I could just take those things off and I put my own things in.
The templates are great because you don't have to spend all the hours that it takes to perfect design skills.
Change that.
Yeah, I
Design school, like graphic design A, it is becoming obsolete. A lot of people do these things that have never actually taken design classes, meaning ratios and what looks best with putting things where next to
This
each other.
screen had a bunch of fish on it.
Uh-huh.
And a bunch of other stuff. I
So
took all
templates
this
are
out.
great because you didn't have to go to design school, you don't have to overthink what you want, where, how your
And I
text
took all of the other stuff.
interacts with the size of your page,
I took it into the pickup and
etc.
so,
But you just consider that a template might also just be hindering you at some point if you feel like
elements to.
you know what you want to put where.
Letters in and I changed the format.
Now, did you,
Because with
the
templates,
card that you made,
I struggled for 2 years with my resume because of a template.
And then that was the card.
So
And
knowing how to solve problems once you get there.
that's fun stuff.
it was,
And that's the trick too. if you sat at your computer for 4 hours and then you run into a problem, it's probably a good time to get up and walk away and come back to it another day. And you're likely to figure it right out the next day what your problem was the day before. Because we get flustered and tired, especially with screens. It's called now, especially after COVID, screen fatigue, they've started calling it. It's exhausting. So, yes, it's a fun program. There's more than enough options. There are more than enough options on things to do and projects to make and animating things, making your own videos. But the small functions, sometimes you don't know what you need until you get there and you have to dig around and here to find it. This might not be the best program for specific things that you want to do. But it is a great program to have in your toolbox. Again, it's not the same kind of thing as buying one version of a program and then they come out with a new version that you have to go purchase to get those upgrades. Like, oh heck. I'll plug my computer in here too. Okay. So something like this is the project, is it showing up? That I've been working on for this new newsletter. When I first put this together, I started I didn't start with a template. I just started with a blank landscape template based on what I knew I was printing. Long, legal size paper. Let's see, will it do it on this? No. What I'm looking for, okay, so this image, when I started using this program, I don't think they had this option. I've clicked on my own photograph now, and we talked about this with text and such. It is pulling these colors out of this photograph. You see these 4 colors here? I can actually change the colors now in my photograph to be something. So any of the pinks that are in this picture now, I can make them orange. In theory. Of course, not if it's lagging on my end. What if we try something obvious too? Oh, shucks. There it goes. Now the background, the wall is green. When I started using this program, that wasn't an option. And it was around the time, like Christmas time, we were making Canva Christmas cards and noticed this function just on accident because I was selected on a photograph. It does not do the same. Let's see, it does that there, but this is a design here. It pulls a couple picture colors out. My computer's being slow. We'll see if it does that. Oh, ooh, pink. So you never know what functions you're going to find on accident as you make this or work with this program. I'm always around to help and troubleshoot as I can, because that type of question I learned the hard way at some point too. Once you get something sucked up in your background, it's sort of, that's all it wants to function as.
So she downloaded it. So as long as you're not downloading your original, you should be able to go back to your original and fix it.
You can, yeah.
So maybe that's the key is you download it under a different name so that you can always go back to your original and
you
fix.
can always go back to your original after you've downloaded it, as long as you keep your original.
That's
If you
okay.
keep your original and duplicate the page, but if you go back to that same project that you just downloaded and change a bunch of things, that's that. You don't get to go back. You get what you downloaded and what you just made. So if there was that typo error, she'd have to rebuild that if she wants to go back, unless it doesn't matter once you've downloaded it anywhere. It's there until you alter what's on the screen here.
But if you download it, but it stays.
So once you download, it is fixed. You cannot change anything.
Instead of downloading, you should just save it. Can't you just save it as something else?
I don't actually use that function in Canva. You can save it, but as you're working, it's automatically saving. Because there is this little cloud icon.
Right, you're just not saving it permanently until you download it.
Right.
Yeah, you can move it.
So where is that? Maybe it's because
The trick is don't download it until you're absolutely sure that's what you.
Yeah.
well, but that's not the case. You can download it as many times as you want. I can download this one picture.
Yeah, but you can't bring it back up and fix it. Because that's what I was trying to do.
You must have lost your original or or changed it if it's not in one of those projects, because it will always just save. Like I can download this page and print it and still come back and adjust this. I cannot adjust the file I downloaded, but as long as this project does not get adjusted, like you might have downloaded it, and I'm not saying because it could still be hiding somewhere. If you downloaded this and then continued to change this same page, it's gone. You do have that original that you downloaded, but this is no longer the original that you made.
Right.
You've altered it. So if I want to do anything as far as after I've downloaded something, I want to make sure that I have the original. You can duplicate the same page as many times as you want and change something different on each page, but you would still have your original design above it somewhere if you duplicate the pages. Or like in your case too, it looked like she had downloaded something over on this share. We talked about that last week. Share, download over here. She downloaded it, and then you come off over to the left side into that cloud. Do images for some reason. Notice this too, because it is a little confusing. Folders, it looks like my uploads is blank right now because of where I'm selected. If I hit images, it shows all my pictures. But it looked like what at some point you'd had downloaded.
I saved it to a folder on my desktop.
Yes.
That's all I know how to do.
Yeah. But your original should be there unless you, after downloading, went in and altered that same picture that you downloaded.
You go in there till today, that wouldn't be nothing.
What was my other thought over here? Oh, yeah, that's once and this is letting me change this other background color. Again, this weird image thing that I was explaining. We didn't used to be able to do that. It was able to let me change that color, but I can't change any of the text in this because this is downloaded and then re-uploaded. This is fixed like an image now. I can't alter any of that text. I could put a text block over it. But I have this original in another project. Oh, look at that. So even though I've downloaded this, see all these pieces are still individual pieces. I can go and alter this version, because this is where I did all my work, but I can't upload and then alter the uploaded version. Because it's like a picture. Again, this is all, well, that other one was altered, it would turn pink, but I can't change the information on it. Not easily. I can on this one. And this, especially in marketing, this is awful repetitive stuff. So just how many different versions of this poster you see here? That, oh, that's what we were doing last week. This is the original, like one of the originals I was working on several months ago, a couple of years. The difference is with a template, you don't have to figure out what fonts you want and what looks good together. That is the nice thing with this program. It's a lot of easy, quick, simple stuff. I did take you through like the long roundabout way getting to things because there's more that you can do. You can build your own projects. But as far as marketing, a lot of it is duplicating this page over and over and adjusting the same pages, which is very nice because you don't have to keep building the same project over and over. When with our artist talk flyers, they're pretty standard. All I literally do is change the dates, change the name at the top, change the photograph, and make sure my information's correct. So I have projects like this. There's one that is the artist talk flyers. So I just keep repeating that person's, and not that I'm probably ever going to have to go back and alter somebody from last year or reprint it or want it. But until I've adjusted that original page, it's still there somewhere. It's still in your projects unless you change this page. Any other thoughts?
Well, I'm still trying to figure out how to go about doing the upload and download of text.
Okay.
Because I don't have Google.
Can you email it to me?
Well, no, the question is when you want to upload, let's see, where is it? I wanted to upload something in text. I was trying to get some of those things. All right. I wanted to upload text from my computer.
Okay.
But when I try to do it, it only gives me
Well, let's see. I'm gonna, while you're looking in my folder too to see if I still have your project because.
Well, I want to ask a specific question about something that's original. I don't want anything that's already been transferred. I have some stuff that I was going to try to bring into this program just to see if I can play with it.
Okay.
But I can't figure out how to download or upload, whatever I'm supposed to be doing, the text from my Word document. So where do I go to do that?
Well, if you want to come plug your computer in, it might be easier, then everybody can see what we're doing. Otherwise, that just avoids you having to. It is a little, might be clunkier on my end too, since I don't know your computer trying to problem solve, but we'll do what we can.
So, I mean, a lot of it is just trying to figure out with the upload.
Janine, wait, while she's doing that, could you come here?
Mhm.
You were changing your background with those things at the top. Okay, so I've clicked on this picture and I'm clicked on the background.
Okay.
And that does nothing except bring up these colors.
Mhm.
And when I click them, it's gonna work on this tree, not on the background and not on the building. It's gonna
Oh,
work on the tree.
so it's that blue. You'd have to click in the blue there, I think,
Okay,
would
let
be
me
the
first
sky.
try that. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so where do I start with trying to go
Oh,
to
yeah.
uploading? Right here?
Okay.
Do I start here?
Let's go to actually this create button over in the top left. What would you like to create?
Well, no, and this is the problem. Before I need to upload the content.
You can't upload the content until you're in a project.
Well, there's no project available. I have looked for books. There is
Okay,
nothing in there.
let's start with the blank canvas. This might be one of these issues that is helpful to hear too, because I think this is a template and relying on the template. If you just open up a blank
Okay, so where do I
project,
start with what?
go to a document. Is A4, is that a letter? Go to letter. Is that the, I'm not sure. There you go.
There's nothing,
Just click on that one.
this is legal.
Click on that one. It depends what you're printing, but just to at least problem solve through this, we'll figure out. Okay, try uploads. This is where you can upload your file. So go up to upload files. Documents. So if you're in there and uploading, you're gonna get options over here. If you don't see the image, or like, I think yours, we'll see. Delete modified. So we're putting a Word document in here.
Okay.
And I think where you were getting stuck is
Okay.
that she was trying to upload that before she got into a project started.
See these?
Okay.
All right, so connect to most web apps. I don't have any of this. I don't use any Canva,
Okay.
or the Google Docs. I don't have that. I only have the Word program. So
Images, designs. Oh. So it wasn't in images because it's not an image. It was under this designs. So click on that and see what happens. Woo, it populated.
no, but it didn't populate it correctly.
But that's where you get to format. That's your job now.
Yeah,
That's
all right.
that.
Okay, now this is the problem.
Okay.
I have 10 people in my group,
I had 10 people when we did books.
but I do not have time
I know.
to redo all of their
That's the
formatting.
thing. You get to teach everybody how to do this.
They won't be able to do it, Danica. They can't because
Okay.
most of them don't even have the
Well,
availability of these kind of computer.
I can help, but they can't, because now we have the tools and we have people who know how to use it.
But I'm saying we've got 10 people.
I know.
Many of them who are visually
I get
impaired
it.
or hard of hearing.
So that's why I'm hoping to start another continuing addition to this class. This is just scratching the surface of what you can do with this
But
program.
I'm addressing our time.
Okay.
And I do not.
I get it.
So.
But that's
I'm
where it's, you
struggling-
gotta pick and choose your time, is if you want to use this and you do wanna get your book together, you can, but it takes time.
Or was it formatted originally and it's
Yes.
not formatted now, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I had it in dialogue, it's dialogue, paragraphed, all of that. It was on the
So-
Word document that I had.
Here we go.
So all
Click
of
on
this-
that. It's on a 12 point right now.
Mhm.
She can change the But in this text, remember, you can change the line spacing. If I want to change this to a 14 font, now it's 14. Oops, I was going to try to do that. You should be able to, and maybe that's a drawback with this. You see how it doesn't have like a text block that I can.
No, I think that this is the thing. I'm gonna have to try and go through a different mechanism than this to do what I need to do. It just
Okay.
is not gonna work on this program,
That's
period.
why we need to play with Blurb.
Yeah,
Uh,
and I'm doing that right now with Steve Raza, so.
Because I kind of look at Canva as this will be good for formatting pages with photographs or artwork or making covers.
But not for what I need to have.
So poking around here, the other difference with this file that she has, it's not gonna let me add pages. See that there's no
Yeah, and
duplicate page.
So, I mean.
What I did do just now, it's a lot of copy and pasting. So with your projects, I had to go through 10 books to copy and paste and format each of those pages.
I'm not in that
Yeah,
situation.
that's-
I absolutely
That's
can't.
exactly.
That's.
But that's the best I can do is teach others how to do this because it's taken me a lot of hours at a computer to figure out how to work this.
I'm just, this.
But
is
the other
different.
trouble is every time you pick up another program, you have to learn new tools. So Blurb, you can put your files into Blurb. It might be easier because it's made for publishing. It might be easy enough on Amazon to put her file into it.
I'm already working.
I liked Canva because it is an operating system that's universal. I can make anything on it for any other program, basically. I can pull her project into it. It's just that I have to troubleshoot how to make it work. And what I would do, I copied and pasted her text. I'm going to walk you through it, just visualize. Copy and paste her text. Open a new project. And this sounds clunky, but this is literally what you do. It's the steps of it. Unless you want to just start relying on AI, and you can do that.
Well, I know.
But just let me finish the steps real quick, okay? Copy and paste the text. Open a new project if it's your 6x9 or 8.5, doesn't matter. Put a text block into that project and paste that text of hers that I brought in because remember, it wouldn't let me resize the text block. But once I've put it into a new project, I can copy paste her text into that text block, resize that whole text block if I want to. If you want to see me do it, I can show you. Put my computer back in real quick. It doesn't mean that it's not possible. It means that it might take you a couple hours or days or years to figure it out. But that's the trouble. It's literally about what we have time for and what you want to do with it.
So can you go in
There's only so much time.
and just start typing your stuff in there without having to download everything and re-put it in there?
Because you have to have it, you have to know how many pages you're gonna have, and you have to keep adding the
Adding
page.
pages.
It's
But
just
if you put a
laborious.
text block in there, can't you get that in there and then just keep going with your text instead of downloading and uploading everything you've done on Word or something else?
So are you just talking about
I'd like to-
starting a project, a Word document in this and just writing your book in it? Yeah. But once you have things coming from other places, the files
Yeah.
are actually not as bad as they used to be about talking to each other.
Yeah.
A lot of times you would pull something into a program and it's not even letters anymore.
Right,
It's
I know.
dots and dashes.
Okay.
But in other words, Margaret, I don't want you to give up on this program. I think that if you learn this and get more comfortable with it, it's probably going to be easier than continuing to having to learn everything on Amazon Kindle publishing and everything on Bookright Blurb.
It's actually not that hard. I started working on one through Kindle,
Uh-huh.
and it's a lot of similar overlaps of things, but it's design, not graphics. And I think the key part of what we are working with here is it's really a function of different kinds of purposes.
And that's the difference too. Bookright is the Blurb program. I had to download Bookright onto my computer. I'll open it up and show you what it looks like. Maybe. Bookright. Here are my projects. If I want to, let's see. Create, there's the create button. It's not very it is tough when things aren't standardized and you're looking for something and it's just in a gray little box and not a big red button that says, click me. Lay flat books, trade books. See why I mentioned squares, square formatting for photo books, standard portrait, 8x10, 12x12. Oh, that sounds fun. That's what I mentioned earlier. Large landscape would be sort of like what you have started. The least amount of readjusting would be something like that. Large landscape. You choose your paper. I'm just running through here to get to where we have me. Start a new project. Select photos from your computer. I can actually just click out of that. Don't panic. You don't have to do anything with it yet. This is what it looks like. This is the dust jacket because I selected that option just now. So it popped up with a dust jacket. You get to design your own. Inside cover. The difference why I started I had used Canva 3+ years at this point and did not want to relearn how to insert photographs and clip art and all these things. Bye, thank you. We're almost done anyway. I'm just talking a lot today. But this is important because problem solving and learning from others' problems, right? To me, it was faster to do what I've been doing, make my pages there, because I didn't have to figure out the formatting on this. But the trouble, and to me, it's odd because I don't use RTF text files. See this? It says add RTF. There's also this little how-to. Learn how to convert your file to RTF. That means rich text format. When I got to making my first book, I think I showed it at the beginning. It was like a drawing book, just like the 8.5 by 11. When it says the only option to add was an RTF or, oh, here's some layouts. You see why, though, it's just a whole other thing you have to learn. So you'd have to spend hours looking through layouts, yada, yada. Photos. Here's why I started doing the things the way I did it. Download each page as a JPEG. Because it recognizes that. Let's just plug something in. Here you go. It'll even place these for you if you want, if you had multiple things. Oh, the weird thing is you drag it. I dragged it into the picture field. Ta-da. You can design your pages here. The difference is once I've downloaded a page as a JPEG and then pull it in here, if I find a typo later, I just have to go back to the original program, re-download a JPEG, re-upload it here. But I'm sure that there are probably easier ways than what I've done because I'm using it for different purposes than Margaret is. So for you, it probably is pretty easy to just rich text format and lay out your things here. To me, in my brain, I just thought, well, shoot, I've learned and spent years using this program already. Just because you hit a problem doesn't mean there's only one way to solve it either. That's the nice thing with classes is people can learn from what you do, and then, like, again, I did panic the other day when I had this weird spot where it was in my uploads. See how right now there's a little box here? I do not know what I did to get it into this function where it was letting me select multiple images, essentially to probably delete. I sat there for a couple minutes and looked around. It was way down here in a gray box, and it said cancel. But I was like, I don't know. I've never had this happen before. But it was a great opportunity to show you guys, because it's one of those things that you realize some things are clunky anyway by the time you get to them. Generally, my problem-solving brain goes to like, well, it's the fastest solution and it's going to get me there, instead of taking another 4 hours trying to figure out how to learn even Blurb's program. To get comfortable with these things, it takes lots of time. Even 9 weeks with this is sort of a test or a teaser, because I'm still learning things from it 5-6 years later. And the difference this too, I mean, you can go to YouTube, I'm sure there are tutorials, but I learned this program on the job. I don't know that there's other places that offer this class. Or what was something else that is Publisher being dissolved?
Yeah, it's good.
Right.
It's just not supported anymore.
Yeah.
I just imported.
So with all those things considered, how many options in the world are out there? You used to have to get Illustrator, Photoshop,
Wrote before.
what are the other ones?
It came in with.
Or you'd pay for a suite. You know, the Microsoft suite would have presentation options. Excel spreadsheets.
Too.
It's a program that is designed for a specific thing. Shoot, I can make lists on here and just put a bunch of lines and make my own lists and columns, but it's not going to do the same thing and populate numbers for me.
Well, you know, if you found
You know?
it way, that's definitely a way to go, but I don't
But-
understand why yours would be formatted.
For $120 a year, as opposed to over $1,000 by the time you add up all these other programs you're just basically renting now, because you'll never take it away on your computer anymore.
Which
Cap-
was your
capitalism.
Show me what your, because I don't understand why you're.
I mean, it has drawbacks. So if the internet
Okay, so that's the original.
really goes out, you're not going to have your files unless
So when
it's
you
something you
upload it,
downloaded.
you choose, you'll show us that.
That's the cloud.
The cloud, exactly, yep. That is plus though, as generally, if you're connected to the internet and
I
you're
mean, I've
making
got the same program. you have.
edits, it is constantly saving your work.
Talk to him.
So if something all of a sudden glitches out, it's like you probably didn't lose that
You've got Word,
much.
I've got Word, you've got.
It will
I've got-
tell you
I upload
that
it.
something is wrong and we could not upload those changes, sorry, you're making words up.
You're right.
So there are drawbacks, pluses.
She lives in the corner.
If anybody's done
I
retail,
don't, Lynn Sanford, I don't know.
like nowadays, Square,
I mean,
I love Square because a lot of retailers use it now and it's universal, so you can go to a different work job and start your own business and use Square very easily. I feel more comfortable going into a new job. Like, oh, I know how to use
Okay, we have
Square.
a question.
Yeah,
I can bring up my document and the formatting's here. I don't understand why hers isn't there. All I did was upload a document.
Okay.
And that's formatting that I had, and why didn't hers have
Oh,
formatting?
well, look at, this is weird though. Yours is one continuous page. It's not even in split pages. Scroll down or up. See that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, mine didn't do that.
See?
It squashed everything onto one page, so you lost all of the document.
Yeah.
Did the
So
block.
what's causing hers to be wrong?
What did you do? What programs did you
Word.
use?
We both
Word?
used Word. We were looking at each
Same
other's
here?
document.
Yeah, well,
Well,
that's
maybe,
true.
but the point is, it's not.
Different versions are probably saving these things differently.
I don't think it would be
honestly.
that much different though. I mean,
Like Margaret saved as 2 individual pages, but Lois's has this one rolling continuous.
Hey, Mitch.
Page, and I don't know, it's probably, I don't know why that is.
Thanks, Denise.
Thank you.
we'll see you later, Lauren.
See y'all next week. Come with more questions.
I'll play with this.
Yeah.
I don't understand why hers is formatted.
Yeah.
But that's.
Where do you want to go?
Huh.
Thank you. All right, well, I'm supposed to get away.
And that's the bulky thing is it's sort of, everything is a little bit individualized.
But you went in, Sam?
He's gonna go that way.
You guys got the same memo.
Good, how you doing, Jim?
You look like twins here.
Yeah, yeah, so colors and everything.
Oh my gosh, Henry.
Am I okay to unplug this, Margaret?
Yeah. Shut it off.
I'm out.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, I have ordered the documents on here, so I will do it, maybe I can figure out.
When we started those books, that was my major hurdle. It's like everything. And that's the difference. 3 or 4 people had basically their whole books that they were already had typed. And some of the books we did all the typing and built from
So if you get that to work.
Canva.
Uh-huh.
So
I know
it's different processes.
You were definitely
Up
going
and
crazy
down.
with that, but, I'm gonna play with it a little bit more. We never did find a real good solution.
Minnie's also.
Yeah,
That's able to help. So he was.
you don't know what you don't know until you get to it.
KDP.
Yeah. The
The
biggest
spot
thing is we
version.
just have to play with it and try things
Yeah.
and have it not work and other things work.
Yep.
We'll be good.
And
Once we get our
Again,
hands-
it's just time.
Yeah, once we
That's
get our hands into it and doing it.
The baffled, like my baffled brain for a couple of years with that just the
It's just too clunky.
resume format. You know, you keep coming back to something and you look at it for a while and then leave it. And it's odd because quite often those problems almost solve themselves overnight.
Oh, yeah, I know.
We
that.
sit and struggle, and then at some point the struggle is not productive.
Yeah, sometimes we just have to walk away for a little bit. That's all it is. Walk away for a little bit.
Frustration.
Well,
Thank you for letting us use this word over here.
right now, I've got a bunch of other things I'm working on right now,
Yeah.
business wise, and I just.
Okey-dokey.
She's not.
Go away to the bathroom.
So,
I can't because